Hello, let me discuss analysis and design of open well RCC staircase. So let us begin. Now this is a photo of open well staircase. It consists of two or more flights arranging a well or opening between the backwards and forward flights. So here it is an open well. This is one flight. Here this is one more flight, and here there will be one more flight. So it is called as open well staircase. When all the steps are difficult to arrange in two flights only, a short third flight of 3 to 5 steps like this shown here may be provided along the direction perpendicular to the hall. Now this is one more pictorial view. Two flights are separated by an open well. So here the open well is formed. Generally open well staircase is used in public buildings. The width of open well, it depends on the space available, and that space generally varies between 60 centimeter to 120 centimeter. The open well between the two flights can be used for fixing a lift. So here the open well formed can be used to fix a lift in the building. Now let us see one simple problem. Design an open well staircase with the general arrangement shown in this figure for a public building. It is likely to be overcrowded. Take riser 150 mm and trade 250 mm. The dead weight of the finishes is 0.1875 kilonewton per meter square of the finished surface of the step. Materials used are M20 concrete and Fe415 steel. So here the plan view is given. This is flight 1, flight 2 and flight 3. So here the width of this flight is 2.25 meter. Here the width of landing is 1.25 meter. In this direction width of same landing is 1.25 meter. Here the width of flight is 1 meter and width of landing is 1.25 meter. And here again the width of landing 1.25 meter, and from here to here it is 2.25 meter. So here riser given 150 mm, trade is 250 mm, grade of concrete FCK 20 megapascal, grade of steel FY4 15 megapascal. Now we know that for Fe415 steel by limit state method, the MU limiting, that is limiting moment of resistance, is given as 0.1388 FCK BD square, where D is the effective depth and B is the width, which we consider normally as 1 meter, and PT limiting, that is limiting percentage of steel or balanced percentage of steel, is 0.961% for M20 concrete and Fe415 steel. So moving further, now let us first see about effective spans. Consider the landing slab to be spanning in the same direction as the flight slabs. Bending moments, the bending of two flights cross each other, the landings of two flights cross each other at right angles, and as such 1/2 of the total load on the landing is taken in each direction. This we will see in little later, in some time. Now effective horizontal spans are, for flight 1 LE1 is 2.25 plus 1.25. So here it is a flight 1. So effective span is simply taken as 2.25 plus the width of the landing, that is 1.25, it is 3.5 meter. For flight 2 it is taken as 1.25 plus 1 plus 1.25, so it is 3.5 again, same, coincidentally the both are same. And flight 3 obviously it will be same as flight 1. So 1.25 plus 2.25, that is 3.5. So coincidentally the effective horizontal spans of all the three flights are same here. Now loads, let us talk about loads coming on the staircase. The west slab thickness can be estimated from deflection criterion. Now let us consider the 0.5% steel Fe415. So let us assume that we are going to provide 0.5% of steel, and therefore for 0.5% steel the modification factor works out to be approximately 1.2 from figure number 4, page number 38 of IS 456 2000. That is when we take on x axis 0.5% modification factor for Fe415 steel. Then on y-axis we get modification factor from deflection criterion as approximately 1.2, and therefore effective depth is L effective, that is effective length upon 20 into modification factor. It is 20 because for simply supported beam we use 20, and therefore it is 3.5 into 10 raised to 3 upon 20 into 1.2, that is 145.83 mm. That is the required effective depth. Now let us assume that we are using 10 mm diameter bars with 15 mm nominal cover, and therefore overall depth D required is effective depth required plus cover plus the diameter of bar by 2, that is 165.83 mm. Let us provide the west slab thickness as a round figure of 175 mm, and therefore the self weight of west slab means here it will be west slab. If I draw one more line here, so this is the west slab. So the self weight of west slab is 0.175, that is its thickness. Here we have obtained into 1 meter, that is perpendicular to paper, into unit weight of concrete 25. So it works out to be this value, and therefore however this value is in the slant direction. Now if we want it on the plan direction or horizontal direction, then self weight of west slab on the plan will be this value 4.375 multiplied by this length. So it is, this length is by Pythagoras theorem root of 0.15 square plus 0.25 square, that is this length, and multiplied by this. However we want it on the plan, so again we have to divide it by 0.25 meter, that is the width of the trade. That works out to be 5.102 kilonewton per meter square. Now going further, now we have calculated the dead load of west slab. Now let us go for dead load of steps. So weight of steps can be calculated as weight of one step divided by trade again. So weight of one step, this one step is nothing but area of this triangle, half into height into base into 1, that 1 meter which is perpendicular to the paper, into 25 unit weight of concrete. Since we want it on the plan or in the horizontal direction, so divide by 0.25 again, so it is 1.875 kilonewton per meter square. Now weight of finishes, now this red one, whatever hashed portion is nothing but the finishes, is the finish. So weight of finishes is 0.25 plus 0.15, that means this perimeter, into 1, that is 1 meter perpendicular to the plane of the paper, into the given data in the problem, that is 0.1875, that is the finish, divided by 0.25, that is 0.3 kilonewton per meter square, and therefore total dead load will be 5.102, that is a dead weight of west slab, plus 1.875, that is dead weight of steps, plus 0.3, that is dead weight of finishes, and therefore it is 7.277 kilonewton per meter square. Now let us consider 1 meter wide strip of flights. Now we know that WD is 7.277 kilonewton per meter square, into I have considered 1 meter, therefore it becomes 7.277 kilonewton per meter. Live load we can consider it as 5 kilonewton per meter. It is not given in the problem directly, but indirectly they have mentioned that this staircase is liable to be overcrowded. So overcrowded means IS code says that whenever the staircase is liable to be overcrowded, we can take live load as 5 kilonewton per meter, and therefore WL is 5 kilonewton per meter. When I add dead load and live load, it becomes 12.277 kilonewton per meter, but we know that we are going to solve it by limit state method, therefore I multiply it by load factor of 1.5, so it becomes 18.416 kilonewton per meter. That is the factored load or the factored UDL acting on the staircase. Now first of all let us consider flights 1 and 3. Now we know that here the length is 2.25 and 1.25 meter. This is A, this is B, simply supported. Now just now we have calculated that this UDL is 18.416, but as mentioned in one of the slides that this on this landing they take half of 18.416, so 18.416 divided by 2, it gives 9.208 kilonewton per meter. So half of this UDL they distribute on this landing. So this is the landing portion, whereas this is the portion where actually steps are there. and therefore by engineering mechanics we can calculate it, we can calculate the reactions here and here, that is 22.77 and 30.18 kilonewton by summation of m and summation of Fy as usual. Now we want the maximum bending moment point, therefore first of all let me consider that somewhere here between A and this point, somewhere here let the shear force become 0. So the distance of point of 0 shear, that is the maximum bending moment point from the support A, what I will do is here I will consider one section at a distance of XA. So what will happen is, now when I take shear force here, now I know that because of this right is going up, right up is negative, so minus 30.18. now here at this section because of this UDL right is going down, so it is plus 18.416 into this distance XA, that I equated to 0. So XA is 1.64 meter. Now someone may wonder that how directly I considered section here, the maximum bending moment may be between this also, but when I considered this section and equated that shear force to 0, then my value came out to 1.64, which is greater than 0, that is greater than 0 and less than 2.25. that means my assumption is correct. Had my assumption been wrong, then this XA value would have been something absurd, so it would have either given negative value or some very large value, impractical value. But since here I assumed the shear force to be 0 between A and this point where the UDL is changing, and the value it is lying between 0 and 2.25 meter, so my assumption is correct, and therefore maximum bending moment the same section will be, by substituting XA is equal to 1.64, it will be 24.729 kilonewton meter. Now moving further for flight 2, again this is a simple diagram. Again when I calculate these reactions, it's very simple to calculate these reactions because it is symmetrically loaded. So you just add all this and divide by 2, so 50% will go this side and 50% will go this side. So each reaction will be 20.718 kilonewton. The maximum bending moment will obviously occur at the center, and by strength of materials method when we calculate the maximum sagging bending moment at the center, because of which this flight is sagging like this, it is 21 kilonewton meter. Now going further, we know that from limit state theory that the maximum bending moment is 0.1388 FCK BD square for Fe4 on fast steel. So it is 0.1388 into M20 into 1000 into D square is mu max, that is which just now we have calculated. So this is the value of this value is mu max is 21, whereas the other value mu max, that is for flights 1 and 3, that is 24.729 kilonewton. Out of 24.729 kilonewton meter and 21 kilonewton meter, the maximum one is 24.729 kilonewton meter, and therefore I am picking, instead of providing two different depths, we can provide the same depth by picking up the maximum value. So it is 24.729, therefore D is only 94.38 mm, and therefore overall depth is 114.38 mm, and therefore actually already we have provided the effective depth which is we considered as 175 mm. So here that 175 we considered overall depth as for calculating the dead load, but here we can now curtail it down by 5 mm and provide overall depth as 175 mm and effective depth as 150 mm from deflection criterion, because from bending moment criterion the effective depth needed is only 94.38, but in slab like structure, because staircase is nothing but a one way slab, always the deflection governs, and therefore we have to provide the somewhat more depth. Now steel for flights 1 and 3, that is two parallel flights, we know that small d is 150 mm, that is effective depth, and overall depth is 170 mm. Therefore PT, when I substitute in this formula, we know that mu is 24.729 kilonewton meter, it works out to be 0.326 percentage, and therefore AST required is PT by 100 into BD, that is 0.326 upon 100 into 1000 into effective depth is 150, so it is 490.09 mm square. So I can use 10 mm diameter bars and spacing works out to be 160.25 mm. Therefore provide 10 mm dia bars at 160 mm center to center. Therefore AST provided becomes 490.625 mm square. that is 8 bars if we calculate in the width of 1.25 meter. Now the secondary steel or the distribution steel which has to be put perpendicular to the main steel is the minimum percentage of steel, and we know that for Fe415 the code suggests 0.12% of the gross cross sectional area. Therefore AST minimum or AST distribution is 0.12 upon 100 into 1000, that is B, into overall depth is 170, that is 204 mm square, and therefore spacing of 8 mm diameter bars will be 246.4 mm. Therefore we can provide 8 mm diameter bars at 240 mm center to center in all the flights, all 3 flights. Now let us go for check for serviceability limit state of deflection. Now we know that percentage of main steel in flights 1 and 3, it is 490.625, that is the steel provided, into 100. So it is AST into 100 upon BD. So it is B is 1000 into effective depth is 150. So the provided PT percentage is 0.327%. And when again we go page number 38 of IS 456 2000 for that is figure number 4 for the modification factor, then for 0.327% of PT provided, the approximate modification factor is 1.4 if we read it from the graph, and therefore effective depth required D is 3500, that is effective span upon 20 into the actual modification factor, that is 125 mm, and here fortunately the D required 125 mm is less than D provided, that is 150 mm, and therefore the west slab is safe in deflection. However, for economy the section can be revised and even the depth can be made somewhat less for economy. The west slab will be safe in shear and development length. Now these are the reinforcement details you can go through, that is reinforcement details of flight 1 and reinforcement details of flight 2. Anyhow reinforcement details of flight 1 and 3 they will be same. So this is the design of open well staircase in short. Thank you very much.